Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. And in today's video, I would like to talk about Wizard101's ranking system and why I think it has to be the worst ranking system I have ever seen in my years of gaming. Now, I'm 23 years old right now, and I've been playing competitive games my whole life. I'm a pretty competitive guy at the end of the day, and I love Wiz, right? I know I get a bunch of hate all the time being like, oh, you're so negative and stuff like that. And it's really funny because Wiz just put out a great update and my last couple of videos have been very, very positive. And what has that resulted in? Well, the queue population is up double the amount now, which is great. Keep in mind, none of this stuff would happen if people like me didn't complain about things. So, haters gonna hate. But yeah, I've been playing a lot more PvP and honestly, I'm having a pretty good time. And if you do PvP and you're a high rank player or like middle rank player, you know how bad this elo system is. I'll throw up some screenshots if I can find any for the video, but holy cow, dude. It's like last night, guys, I was playing for about 3 hours on Wiz or so. And I went like 7-2, which, really good win rate. I average about like a 70 to 80% plus win rate when I actually play off stream and try. Now you're probably sitting there like, okay, Liam, well, that seems to be you ranked up. You went 7-2. Wrong. Nope. I'm actually down 3 rank from where I started playing 3 hours ago. Now you're probably like, Liam, how the hell does that make any sense? Well, let me explain to you how this ranking system works and why it is really, really bad. So, at Wizard101's core, you have a Rochambeau kinda design system where every school has 2 good matchups and 2 bad matchups. However, some schools have 3, some schools have 4, like a Storm has 3 matchups and Ice has 4, stuff like that, right? We all know that. And just that alone, having an elo system in with that kind of system isn't good, because if you get a counter matchup and you lose the counter matchup, which you're supposed to, if they're a low ranked player, but because they're on the counter school, you will get gutted and punished, and it's horrible. Not to mention, in Wiz101, there's an amazing amount of RNG in the game with like deck RNG, crit RNG, and Maycast as well. High to low end situations as well. All this stuff stirred together just really makes it so elo on Wiz is not really accurate at all. Now the bands, which are basically ranks that you can queue above and below, are a little bit too wide. So what this results in is extreme cases where you gain like 2, 3, 4, 7 rank, but you're going to lose like upwards of 20, 21, 22. So if we just do some quick math there, right? If I lose 1 game to a counter matchup to a guy who's like Sergeant or Veteran, that is 20 rank. And if I play said, Sergeant, Veteran, Knight even, right? I'm gaining about, 4 or 5. So that 1 loss that was a counter matchup results in me actually playing about 4 games roughly. So I'm going to reference Overwatch 2 in this case. Just the ranking system, again, the genre doesn't really matter too much. So essentially this game has basically almost like a flat system, but a little bit of elo in it. So on average, at least if you're a good player, higher ranks, you'll gain about 20 rank plus and minus. Some matches it'll be like plus 20, then you might lose 19 the next game, or plus 20, then you lose 22 the next game, right? But you're generally gaining about 20 rank, and depending on if it's like favored, not favored, in Wiz's case, counter matchup or good matchup, right? You might gain a little more, gain a little less. So this essentially results in the game actually being fair and reasonable, but also having that extra bit of layer of, if you play a lot, you actually will get rewarded for being better. However, in Wiz's case, that is not the case at all, right? Because you can go 7-2 and still somehow end up being behind rank when you've been playing for a long time, which is what the devs like to say, right? It's like, oh, well, over time, you'll be where you need to be. Right, but when you have stuff like that happen, it's like, okay, well, I just sunk 3 hours into the game and nothing happened, and you can't even blame it on me because I'm literally playing amazing. So personally, I'd like to see Wiz kind of do something like what Overwatch 2's competitive system is. I know it's not perfect, but it's, very similar to the flat system Wiz used to have with, again, a bit more intricate of a layer on there for the more hardcore players. And it does make PvP actually feel better to play. If they can do that and add more cosmetics and rewards to keep the Q population up, I think that's great. Also, if they want to maybe keep this current system, maybe you could tighten the bands and add more rewards, because that way, we won't have to always risk losing 20 rank and not gaining any rank. It's really, really annoying. Because Wiz is one of the few games I know that actually punish you for getting better at the game, which is just a horrible, stupid mechanic. I don't know why anybody would ever do that. I've heard ideas like, oh, Wiz should have like MMR and stuff like that. And that kind of leads me into my next topic here. It's going to be kind of like smurfing and Wiz. Now, it's not like too big of a deal because Wiz isn't too competitive and stuff like that, but essentially a good example I can use, right, is on my Storm. My Storm is, a Warlord. You guys know how this is, right? We're the first Storm Warlord, right? However, obviously I do not play a lot on my Storm, or I like to goof around, so I typically sit around 1800 rank on average. So when somebody who's higher ranked than me currently, like a Marshall or someone who's almost Warlord queues me, they're queuing a Warlord level player, but I'm actually like Captain or like Knight sometimes. And if they beat me, they're not really going to gain anything from it, even though I'm a Warlord level player. But if they lose to me, who is equal in skill, if not better, they're going to lose 20 rank, which is like hours of their time, depending on how the queue is and what school they're on, obviously, right? Or even my balance, right? My balance, I love playing balance and stuff like that. He also sits around like 1800 to 1900, but I never care to go for Warlord, because why would you in a competitive system like this? And now, since balance is so broken in the game, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to be bored out of my mind just winning every game. So my balance is naturally going to D-rank to probably Knight or Veteran, but what do you know again? Now you have a Warlord level player that's Knight and Veteran that can queue Marshals that aren't going to gain any rank off of that Warlord player, but lose all of it to them. I don't know, man. It's just really, really frustrating. And it's just like, I don't know why we're punishing players for getting better at the game at the end of the day, And I understand Wiz doesn't really have a way to like measure like RNG in the game and like how a loss happens. Like, we've all lost 20 rank off of a main cast, right? It's all happened to us if you're a high rank player. And that feeling is just absolutely shitty, right? But I really am enjoying this new update, guys. But I just like, I feel like I'm not incentivized to play. I don't feel encouraged to play. I don't feel motivated to play like after this stuff happens. And it happens all the time, right? If you're a high rank player, it happens all the time. And it's really like, it just crushes your soul. It's like really demoralizing when stuff like that happens. It's like you have an 80, 70, 90% win rate, but then you get some, weirdo bad player that happens to be somehow 1700 rank on a balance, and you lose 20 rank to them, and it's like, okay, well, like, whether it's RNG or like their school's better, right? It's just like, well, I can't really do shit there. I've still yet to meet a player who actually has high rank and has the experience of, playing and feeling the game at the higher ranks say that they like this current elo system. So yeah, hopefully the devs do something about this and all. It's just really, really annoying because I really don't mind the meta and the balancing in the game, right? The 6 schools that aren't balanced basically are pretty reasonable, fine and fair to go against. Counter matchups are annoying, of course, but the meta's not that bad right now. And with the balance nerfs coming, I think we have a pretty good meta. Probably the best meta we've had in years, quite frankly, coming up. So that's great, guys. It's just, it doesn't feel good to play, and I want to play, but I just feel like the game doesn't respect my time as a player, and I don't feel like I have a reason to play, even though I want to play, because the meta's not bad, I think you guys know what I mean. Anyways, I'm a head out, I'm yapping. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments below. Leave a like and a sub if you made it this far, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care, y'all.